Ew, gross. A study published in the BioMed Central Infectious Diseases journal found that plastic airport security trays carry viruses that could cause respiratory infections. The researchers involved in the study took swab samples of different plastic trays at the Helsinki airport 3 times during flu season in 2016. 4 out of 8 security tray samples were then found contaminated with rhinovirus or adenovirus, both of which cause cold-like symptoms. The plastic trays were found to contain the highest frequency of respiratory viruses, as the trays were recycled quite often and contained different items such as shoes, laptops, among other things. Researchers encouraged people to minimize the spread of viruses by hand washing and coughing into their sleeves. The researchers also said the airports should offer hand sanitizers to travelers, as well as cleaning and disinfecting the security trays more often. The scientists involved in the study warned that airports could spread disease and create a potential risk zone. More stories related to the airport.
Dutch researchers propose circular airport runways. Scientists in the Netherlands are working at the country's aerospace center to develop circular airport runways. Researchers at the Endless Runway, a project funded by the European Commission, believe circular runways could have several benefits, including being more environmentally friendly and less noisy. The group proposes constructing a 3.5-kilometer wide circular runway with banked sides, divided into 18 runway segments, with the airport terminal in the center of the circle. The length of the circular runway would be equal to 3 straight runways, while being able to handle the air traffic of 4. Circular runways would allow planes to land and take off at any point in the circle. Pilots would be able to land in directions with the most favorable weather conditions, while avoiding difficult maneuvers in situations such as strong crosswinds. The circular design would also mean aircraft coming into land circle the airport fewer times, thus using less fuel. The design allows for 3 planes to land and take off at the same time. Because of centrifugal forces, planes would automatically go slower and move toward the center of the runway. Circular runways could also limit noise pollution by spreading it more evenly around the airport. The U.S. military conducted tests in the 1960s with circular runways, but commercial circular runways have never been built. This is what the airport of the future might look like. A UK company has released a concept of what airports will be like by the year 2040, and they look a whole lot more efficient and passenger-friendly than today's airports. In the future, airline passengers will be expected to check in via self-service desks, which include biometric scanners that can scan passengers' facial features, iris patterns, and fingerprints in order to verify their identities. After check-in, a biometric token will be issued and stored in the passenger's smartphone. This serves as a boarding pass and ID. Luggage can be checked in at drop-off points. Laser molecular body scanners can detect even tiny quantities of dangerous materials in the passenger's clothing or their luggage without the need for a body search. Passengers may buy duty-free goods from virtual shopping stations and have the goods delivered to their homes. Airports in the future may need to expand their runways and parking facilities to cope with the increasing size of aircraft and the number of passengers. Airport control is likely to be operated remotely from outside the airport, with staff monitoring live video footage of the facility. Upon arrival, passengers will be notified when their luggage is ready for collection. When an airport enters the full self-service phase, passengers will get help from virtual assistants. And in fact, many such technologies are already being implemented. For example, biometric scanners are currently being trialed at Heathrow and Schiphol airports.
2 passenger jets in close call at Chicago Airport. 2 passenger jets narrowly avoided a collision on Tuesday evening after they attempted to take off at the same time on intersecting runways at Chicago's Midway International Airport. A Southwest Airlines flight heading to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and a Delta Airlines flight heading to Atlanta nearly collided at Chicago's Midway International Airport on Tuesday. Southwest Airlines Flight 2838 was cleared for takeoff on runway 31 Center just before 7:40 p.m. As the plane began to speed down the runway, Delta Airlines Flight 1328 began its takeoff on runway 4 right without clearance. Airport controllers spotted the trouble and ordered the Delta plane to stop immediately. The Southwest plane also chose to abort its takeoff. The aircraft stopped more than 2,000 feet from the runway intersection. The FAA is investigating whether the similar flight numbers of the planes may have contributed to the close call.
Mix-up sends plane into the path of another aircraft. A directional mix-up by an airline controller at Los Angeles International sent one plane flying toward another last week. An EVA Airlines flight bound for Taipei, Taiwan, departed LAX early Friday morning and was told by an airport controller to make an 180-degree left turn. But she actually meant right. Whoopsie! This sent the aircraft north toward an Air Canada plane and dangerously close to the San Gabriel Mountains. However, to the air controller's credit, she quickly realized the gaffe and managed to tell the crew, who got the plane back on track. As you'd expect, the Federal Aviation Administration is on the case. They say both aircraft remained the required distance apart, but they're still trying to determine how close the EVA plane came to the mountains. The required height is at least 2,000 feet. Either way, the plane was low and loud enough to startle residents in the San Gabriel Valley when it flew by last Friday morning.